Hey guys, we're back with the house in Fata Morgana, a Requiem for Innocence. When we last left off, we're on the backstage. And you could probably tell last time that my mic was too far away from me. So I am now sitting in like the most awkward, makeshiftiest, is that a word? I'm making it work, makeshiftiest position possible. But I do it for you. Remember this. And on to the second part. Right, so with Jiran, she's like narrating what's happened. Remember, we start getting closer and closer to the main game's final chapter. But Jackie's still most reasonable at the beginning. Mostly reasonable at the beginning. He tries his best to be a better lord and govern his land. As a side note, one of the traits listed on your character outline is hardworking. Here, you work your butt off to improve the city. In the third chapter, you work your butt off to improve business. Is third chapter just synonymous for third door? Because I remember last time they used third door one line, but then third chapter the next, which... I don't know. You're super bad at picking allies, so you end up not trusting anyone, unable to open up, unable to tell who's on your side and who isn't, eventually destroying yourself for it. And to top it off, you don't like people looking down on you, so you do everything in your power to be a huge jerk. Pathetic. I want to disappear. As it gets deeper and deeper into the politics of running a city, Jackie's perspective and priorities start changing. What really pushed him over the edge? Oh, it's Beefcake's beef with him that just zooms across the screen. Sorry for screwing things up for you, kid. Wipe that grin off your face. It's all downhill from here. There. His console dies. He doesn't even get named. Odalin? Come on. I remember. And he's texting the ghost of Francois and all sorts of dangerous people who don't show up as more than footnotes try to do all sorts of terrible things to him. Before long, Jackie's a broken mess. Feel much the same now. On further record, Francois' ghost wasn't an actual ghost, it was Jackie's hallucination. Yeah, I figured, but thanks for the clarification. That's nice. The story had some real ghost troubles in the main game too, but that was a real deal ghost. Well, yes, it was me. I would much prefer to have Morgana tormenting me than Barnier hovering around trying to undermine everything. Seriously, dude, keep your masochistic fantasies to yourself. Would everyone try to stop reading my goddamn mind? So little by little, the old Jackie disappears and turns into a bad guy. He's so bad it's squared. That's one of the most painful parts of this story. Watching someone who put in an honest, solid effort to improve things only to end up being corrupted. Like I was saying earlier, Jackie really needed someone he could trust in his life. It would have been nice if he could have found someone else after Odalin died. His name was Odalin. And I was a pun on old and lone. It's not funny. Can't just match two words together and call it a pun. What you should have done is made me your counsel from the get-go. I've never been able to get anything done, and it would have only enabled you to go after my head quicker. Have a little faith in me, kid. You were always really aggressively competitive, Jackie. If anyone, I think you should have been boss as his counsel. That was my plan. It's the whole reason I was learning to read. I had no idea. Never ended up being of any use, of course. Boo! Think you were gonna go see him, boss? You should have done so a lot sooner than you did. Excuse me? Would have been better if you crashed and shouted, "What the heck are you doing, Jacopo?" the day you put Beefcake's head on the spike. You would have probably still been able to get through to him then. Of course, you're plenty at fault here too, Jackie. You need to learn to be open. That doesn't let you off for not dragging it out of him either, boss. I can't believe she got Maria with her back to the wall. You seem sharper than usual here in the backstage, John. Thought you were supposed to be an airhead. I flipped on my super smart switch for the occasion. Super smart is clearly an exaggeration, but I can't deny you're much more clever than you were in Requiem. Because she's being used as the author's mouthpiece here. So her IQ goes from like 80 to 81. The author tweaked me a bit because we wouldn't get anywhere otherwise. You see the fourth wall crumbling? Hasn't it always been my job to run these things anyway? What did you end up with it this time? Because if you were in charge, you'd skip over all this and go straight to see Snowy. Like you were going to. Proceed. Aye aye. Oh, we just... we don't get to see it anymore, just zoom. So once Jackie goes off the rails, he starts getting cruel and merciless. He tears down farms and works slaves to death, and overall everyone kind of starts hating his guts. Did the same sort of stuff in the third door too. Put a factory out of business and made a whole lot of fans for it. There's no such thing as a world where everyone can be happy. That may be true in general, but in your case, you're just being a freaking not nice guy. Got him. Then we get to the big turning point. Him locking Morgs up in the tower. About that, Morgana, the only whooshing I'll be doing is sending your soul straight to hell. What? Your soul straight to hell. This is the one screw over that can't talk yourself out of. That's at least more understandable than how it was presented in the main game, I think. That was the super short version of it, so we didn't get to see much of how he had painted himself into a corner. But here, that was the focus. And then we switch over to Morg's perspective. Probably the most important part of getting Morg's perspective is that scene where she finally throws off her mask and reveals her true feelings. Yeah, that. Can't believe you felt so strongly. You didn't even hint at it when we were together. But then you just went straight out and said, "Will you stay with me?" That's a dream sequence, you oaf. What? As a child, my mind was running wild. There's nothing to it. Can't just brush it all under the rug like that. It's too important of a moment. Huh. But I know the truth. You don't actually hate me. I don't completely revile the slave man. But I always detest you, the Lord. Now, can you imagine my utter dismay upon learning the two were the same? I'm sorry. And you're getting roasted from every direction for this backstage, Jackie. Considering how badly you screwed up everyone over, is that a surprise? So, back to the story. While she goes all sappy once, Morris ends up hardening back up as she spends more time alone. This wasn't mentioned explicitly in the game, but apparently one of Old Lone's men actually stopped by her little Lixay cottage once. What? But since Morris didn't open the door to anyone who wasn't there for her leafy greens, she ended up chasing him off. I believe the exact phrasing was, and I quote, "You send away anyone who wasn't here for medicine." That's what the line was there for. Yeah, I remember bringing that up at one point. I forget how... I don't remember if it was hinted at or not, but exactly how many opportunities were missed. Things might have gone differently had she opened the door. Maurice makes her way to the Lord's Manor, where Jackie's waiting. They have a heartwarming reunion, and she becomes his counsel and transforms the city into theonomy. Because a new Holy Land for which a new wave of crusades begin. Is theonomy theocracy would work, but how do you drive it? I don't know. Exciting stuff. Oh, now we can get an image on screen. Realize the Crusades began almost a century after we all died, right? Anyway, I wouldn't have made her into my counsel if I had found her. If anything, my bride. I'll murder you with my own two hands. For the love of God, stop reading my mind! While she's all holed up, a flaxen-haired young man pays Morris a visit. The boy formerly known as Mel. What's he known as now? The boy formerly known as Mel manages to get through Morg's shell briefly, the reason for which is a lot clearer in Requiem. But of everyone and everything from her old life, it was the slave man she could ultimately never forget. I did forget his name and what he looked like, though. Maybe things would have turned out differently if you hadn't. Remember, you wouldn't have made you any less of a monster, thank you very much. It was more like you locked that information away than actually forgot it. I'm betting you remember just fine if you're reunited in better circumstances. What a crazy bonkers reunion that turned out to be. Everyone who played the main game already knew that, though. The scene where Morgs confuses Jackie as Francois is clear here too, I think. Snowy didn't mention how Morgs wasn't quite in her right mind, but it packs a lot more punch actually seeing it from her perspective. Yuki cutting off her arm definitely messed her up pretty bad. It's the least fitting name yet. Could please stop coming up with increasingly convoluted nicknames for people? Just call the infernal creature Bestia. Like, it's Bestia, I think, right? Like, everyone else would be done with it. I don't actually know, but someone told me that, and so I'm gonna believe that. Alright, Beastie it is, or Bestie? I don't know. That's even worse. So the two of them are finally reunited, and it's very tragic. Jackie's torn, wants to set her free, but he can't. The reason for that is, again, much clearer in Requiem. Clearer, but still far from convincing. This is also about the point where he figures out that Francois' ghost is actually a delusion, all in his own mind. I refuse to believe he wasn't real, though. Getting a little off topic here, but in the third door, we see Jackie has a real beef with anything supernatural or not provable by science. This is where that came from. Not just the ghost, but the miracle blood was a huge part of that too. Left a mark on his soul that never went away. I don't remember that from Door 3, but if you say so. Huh. Yeah, I thought he was just a wimp who couldn't handle ghost stories. That's true too. Not surprised. So Jackie ends up lying to himself about what he really wants and keeps Morg locked up in the tower. So that really isn't your kink? It's the first thing you say after not talking for God knows how long? It's inappropriate for me to butt into this part. How many times did you tell her, I'm gonna show you the world, and then all you showed her was a big old brick wall? You don't have to remind me. I feel bad enough about it already. Yakubo, I knew wasn't the kind of man to do that to a girl. It's kind of depressing to see even an upstanding guy like you can fall so far. Yep, well, love was one of the big themes of the main game. Friendship and companionship were more of the focus in Requiem. I guess I can see that. And all the different ways it could break apart. It's enough to make me cry. Though you're incapable of feeling sadness. I understand loneliness. I can cry about that. If you say so. There's something I want to bring up about that, but I feel like it's a spoiler for the thing I'd reference. It's not Omineko. It's actually Higurashi. But I won't mention that. Going a bit out of order, but speaking of friendship, Maria had the real killer bit when she was talking about how everyone was gone and they weren't going to come back and all that. Yeah, that stung like hell. My friends mean more than anything in the world to me. Ooh, it got super heavy in here real fast, huh? Moving right along. Next up, Boss tries to confront Jackie. Here's where I thought it was just gonna be like, oh yeah, Maria dies. Tries to confront Jackie. Here's where things start diverging from what was in the main game. What you see in the Requiem is actually what happened. The main game is more like a simulation with Snowy thrown in, so things go off course real quickly. Snowy's very first day, he manages to convince the boy formerly known as Mel to work with him. Why do you keep calling him that? I feel like it. What if the extra scene is actually Mel, and we're gonna see his rise to power in modern times? Now, because the Mel boy formerly known as Mel switches teams, that night, he and Nellie are on the mansion's grounds. Boss comes to look around and sees two strange shadows and decides to push it to the next day. Okay, that's how that worked out. But she comes back, she bumps into Snowy. So in the main game, she never ends up meeting with Jackie. But in reality, Snowy wasn't there, so the boy formerly known as Mel isn't wandering around to get in the boss's way, so she's able to recon without any trouble. And the next day, she brings the necklace and a knife and breaks in. She goes all out trying to kill Jackie, but he stops her, breaks her arm, and then has Yucky throw her out. No mercy! It was me showing mercy, you realize. Normally, an attempt in the Lord's life would be punishable by death. He used the Harvest Festival as an excuse to stop him from killing her. Yucky was really yearning for some blood. And the way he just asked, should I kill so-and-so, is hilarious! Not so funny to the so-and-so you see salivating. Oh my god. I can tell. I swear. So when all that's happened is Jackie sees the necklace, he starts reminiscing about old times and then has a crazy idea. He decides to impersonate his old self, pretending to be the slave man who once saved her from the Lord, who he is now. That got super bonkers. That's completely out of my mind at that point, yes. Not even going to try to talk yourself out of that one? Oh, good eye. In the main game, Jackie doesn't go up to the tower alone with Morg, so we never got a good look at her condition. It doesn't only go up as the main group that Snowy points out what bad shape she's in. But in Requiem, he goes up alone, which is how he realizes. He confesses his true feelings, but Morg is so broken he can't even get through to her soul. So she doesn't hear anything he says. Once Jackie finally comes to his senses, he's finally freed from his shackles. It's really sad it could only happen that way, though. But with that off him, he starts treating the people around him a little nicer, like the old Jackie. But it was a little too late, and Morg dies. This leads to a big panic, which Jackie watches from the observation tower. And the rest goes the same in both games. As a side note, Snowy only really needed to get into Jackie's memories to flip the table on Morg's perception. But he kept those memories locked up so super tight, especially everything related to his younger days, that it wouldn't have worked if they got straight to him. Plus, Jackie's soul is crazed like a rabid dog, so he wouldn't have listened to Snowy from the beginning. And also, ignoring Yucky and the boy formerly known as Mel, who would have left their souls in pretty bad shape too. Which is why the main game had to go the way it did. We only got the abridged version of Jackie's past in the main game, but you should just think of it as more proof of how tight he kept it locked up. And all that mattered, I'd like to elaborate a bit on the curse too. At his death in Requiem, Jackie realizes what he really wanted in life and feels super bad about how much he messed up. But then Maurice is all, from now on, only money and power will be your friends. It puts a curse on his soul. Excuse me? I'd rather die than use a what's the squiggly line? Then use the squiggly line in my speech. Which is why even after figuring out once, he ends up making the same mistakes and dies all sad and alone again. Kinda tragic, huh? Curse or not, he's still a freaking mean dude. Rude dude, it rhymes. Wasn't Morgana's curse that drove him to constantly insult and belittle his wife? But you did push me in that direction, as I recall. That's true. The third door started in a similar place to Jackie's fall into darkness as the Lord. Being a mafioso would probably been worn down a whole bunch from all the betrayals and crazy mafia stuff that happened outside the story. There's only one way to fix this, I think. A spin-off where we see Jacopo and the mafia. Make Jackie live a quiet life out in the sticks. And that's it for Dreon's review corner. Okay. I'm gonna cut to... I can't remember her name. But the girl from Ascento Italy and Snowy, as they call him. But knowing how to turn down, though, still pretty dang heavy. Jackie ends up destroying the things he cares most about with his own hands. It's pretty dang grim, yeah. Now that I think about it, you did kill dang near everyone who had a sprite, didn't you? And if you count breaking Maria's arm as resulting in her death, that makes pretty much the whole gang. Yeah. That's an impressive, kid. You want a frickin' massacre. Thanks for saying frickin'. Please, that's enough. To include minor characters and no-names, Francois and Jackie would be neck and neck with him for the gold medal. But Jackie definitely has the most story-relevant kills. Jackie the Ripper! For the love of all that is holy, don't call me that! I went to go hide in the corner. I think the 1-2 punch of being compared to a serial killer and seeing that smile would bring down just about anybody. I thought it was pretty funny. Of course you did. You don't comprehend negative emotions. Now, everyone may have died in Requiem, and most of them because of Jackie. This is the backstage extra. Whoosh! Everything under the bridge. What are you planning to do now that you've tossed the entire game into the water? How about we go over the characters next? The characters? Okay, I thought I might skip this, but... Yep, for example... Me! She's gonna say me. Oh, we're gonna see the full body sprite. I didn't know they had full body sprites. Jeron! Jeron! Who else? Jeron! This is what I look like. I'm sure everyone's picked up on this already. But according to my outline, I was missing all my screws right off the bat. That's why you're always so cheerful. Not because you're optimistic, but because you're mad. Some part of my brain may never be turned on, I guess. So not only are you airheaded, even that air is worthless. Also, if adults, it's a pain. Kinda have to make it through a childhood like that. It didn't come off as bad as it really was, because it was colored by you being eternally happy-go-lucky, but thinking back on it, that's some real dark stuff. Especially the whole bit when you're 5. What do you mean that it didn't come off as bad? Because, does that make it worse or the same? Like, it doesn't make it better. But, well, it could arguably, depending on how you look at it. Seemed pretty normal to me. The world is bad enough without everyone having to go through that. Okay, next up, Beefcake. We can skip this section. Are we gonna see him twice? Yeah. It's a sword. Here's my full bod. What do you think? Looks pretty tough, don't I? Beefcake's profile describes him as a wild animal with an unbeatable competitive streak. He's an act first, think never kind of guy, and the second biggest doofus in the cast, only after me. Hey now, that's just mean. I mean, I hate planning everything out, yeah, but still. He's like a giant, huggable gorilla / big brother figure who tries to fix everything by punching it. Which is one reason him trying to poison Jackie stood out so much. You're so upset it caused him to resort to our real underhanded methods. Hey, you can't tell me I'm wrong. I'm way stronger than he ever was. I bet most readers didn't have a very good impression of you with the way you went out either. You think so? It's kind of a downer. Alright, whoosh, and all under the bridge, guys. Whoosh! Not enough of an indie to keep up with these two. But you know, maybe some readers saw what you did coming, Beefcake. I thought he'd be doing it in like a heroic light. There's a line in the main game that when I invited an old companion to my manor to discuss matters, but the meeting only turned into an attempt on my life. Was there? Oh man, if I had seen that, I would have had so much fun theorizing. Like, it could have only been Grotti, but still. Someone had a really good memory. They could have maybe made that connection. And guess what you'd end up doing? I wonder if they had Requiem for Innocence planned, like, when they wrote the original. Like, I imagine it was at least planned, like, as, well, it had to have been planned when it released, since they had that thing at the end of the backstage. But I wonder if it was, like, planned from the start, if, like, when they were writing that, they're like, oh, hey, we could do that. Or whatever. Anyway. Because you're kind of right. Didn't leave on the best note. What I did at Jacopo was real mean. Yeah, I was cocky and told myself I was better than him in every way. But at the same time, I wanted to be, you know, there with him. Maybe I wouldn't have made a good counsel, but there are other things I could have done. Like head of your guard or something. I'd have come running to be your right-hand man if you'd just send for me. You're lonely down there in the slums all by yourself, weren't you? I don't know. I'd say I was disappointed more than anything. I was ready to help with anything, and I wish you'd use me. I feel you. Nobody was on the same page for most of the game. Still don't think that justifies trying to kill him. Whoosh! Whoosh! Alright, next up is you, Morgs. You can skip me. Nope, you're going too. Oh, she has hands. Why do we have to do this twice? Like, and I get the different facial expression, but just like the body kind of like, is it like a completely different sprite? Just like, I hope you get what I mean by that. Like their body shifts like 1 degree. So there's a phobia Morgs. This is when she's still itty bitty and her clothes were way too big. Adorable, huh? Make a few poses then for them. Absolutely not. She does like the peace sign and puts it over her eye horizontally. Well, also 12-year-old Morgs is actually shorter than Nelly. But if she's shown in their actual height, the text box will cover almost all the way. So her sprites are bumped up a bit. She's not the only one who's not shown to scale either. Bus is only 160 centimeters tall, but she's placed real high up on the screen too. Just pretend she's wearing some wicked heels. Everyone's sprites are positioned, so you have a rough idea of their relative heights. So don't take it as true to life. Ain't be excused. I was hoping you'd give a comment first. I have nothing to say. Pah. Okie doke. You're up next, Jackie. Oh, Jackie! He's still crying at the corner, huh? He's over in the corner making faces like his death CG. Oh, you, Jackie. Hey, Morg says she has something super important to tell you. I beg your pardon? What is it? I'm all ears. That took less than 2 seconds. I have nothing to say to you. Go back to your corner and die again. Stop, stop, stop! It's your turn to show your full body sprite, Jackie. So perk up and make yourself presentable. Wait, that's like a skirt. Well, I mean, there's like pants under it, but like, I guess it's just a big shirt. But he's Link. It's Link. It's a perk up, not whatever the heck that is. May I be excused? Oh, not you two. Why can't you go back to the tough-spirited Jackie from the first half? You're super duper impressive in your fight against Francois. You think so? That was certainly your peak, at least. It was all downhill from there. Oh. Well, your time with Odin was fun. You did a pretty good job. Morgs! I was just getting him back in the spirit. We talked a bunch about what kind of character Jackie is already. He's just as inadequate as he looks. Not inadequate. Jackie's got 2 modes, his softer, more approachable mode, and his all business, no fun allowed mode. It's the latter we're most familiar with. It's not until you see things from his perspective that you realize there's more there. From the outside, Jackie just looks like a huge monster. Especially all the ways you killed Snowy in the main game. Talk about ruthless. There's that man with a sword who did most of the killing, as I recall. You did shoot him, and you ordered him killed several times. Huh. When did they shoot him? Because I thought it like he just bludgeoned him in a... There's one dead end where when you go to get the keys. There's like one of the only 2 bad ends I didn't record. But I thought he bludgeoned him. Well, maybe he shot him. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Huh. Maybe that'll teach him to toughen up if he wants to be pro-tag material. How can he call himself the hero if he doesn't even know how to wield a sword? So he got the vitality of a housefly and little sunlight's enough to knock him out. I mean, he has a sword kill. The white-haired girl accounts. How much more pathetic can you get? He's a pacifist like Gandhi. Except for that time he attacked me with a goddamn whiskey bottle. Can't complain about something that happened in a game that was never translated into English. It'll just confuse the readers. I wonder what that original line was. Probably just, you can't just reference the side material. You'll confuse the readers. The point is, Snowy's the total opposite of you. Plus, he's actually somewhere in between boy and girl, so you shouldn't go try to apply your fragile masculinity to him. How do I express? Wow! Like, you have to switch between questioning and excitement. Even more so. Oh, I broke Jackie. She didn't even hesitate to reveal his secret. Why on earth does she know that anyway? Don't joke about that sort of thing, it's not funny. What, but it's true. What the heck does that make him? Did anyone think of anything else about Jackie we haven't mentioned? He's a lot more skilled with his hands than you think. Oh yeah, that's right, you didn't even play the lute. Oh, the part where Jack went from a guy off the street. Yeah, that freaking slayed me. It's not half bad singer either, but you never guess it from looking at him. That's not something you just added for Requiem either. Came up in the main game too. Remember the flashback in the Thor doorway where we were singing together? That's also a short story somewhere where you're humming to yourself. Even the worst Italian ever born is still an Italian at heart. I guarantee you I'm far from the worst. Is singing an Italian thing? Or humming? I don't know. Music-y stuff is something you stop dialogue once you go no fun allowed mode. You stop doing, not you stop Did I say dialogue? I think I said dialogue. It's tossed along with everything else about your younger self. It's too bad you couldn't have kept even once one. Ooh, typo! I gotcha! I mean, manga, I don't know the translator, but manga gamer, I guess? Sympathetic trait. If you look closely at the background graphic for the Lord's bedroom, there's a lute in it too. Yeah, I noticed that. Maybe he did keep playing. By himself? How lonely. It's pretty sad. Fittingly pathetic. Shouldn't have said nothing. Take every last one of you out back. And that about covers Jackie. You're up next, boss. Huh? How come I didn't show my legs like everyone else? Because... Oh, were the original game sprites not full body? You don't have a full body sprite, boss. What? Why the heck do I keep getting the short end of the stick? Sorry, boss. The staff were kind of fumbling around in the dark as they made the games, and it wasn't until Requiem that sprites were given legs. Because of that, it offered a lot more possibilities for animations and stuff. So hopefully you'll give them a break. They're still learning. Alright, fine. Everyone just imagined Boss's beautiful legs. Make him sexy as heck. So in the third door, you came off super scary with the way you betrayed Jackie. In the final one, you were more of a tough, reliable big sister. Requiem focused even more on how much you care about your friends. It's always been who I am. My family means more than anything to me. Revenge for what the Berzottis did to my family was what pushed me to go so far in the third door. But god, the dang attack on the brothel and Requiem really did ruin everything. If that hadn't happened, Morgana wouldn't have been taken, Jacopo wouldn't have gotten that dumb idea in his head, we all could have just stayed together. Yep. It really all comes to that. Drayon, possessed with the desire to grab you by both cheeks, pulling them as hard as I can, and give you an earful about how you don't have any goddamn right to talk about that event with any words except, I'm sorry. Oh, aggressive us, Jackie? One of these days. Palzoom! I don't know what that symbolizes. Although, the main game did end with me and Jacopo not on the best of terms. So it's nice that the people got to see us enjoying ourselves in Requiem. I suppose so. Okie doke, that covers the main 5 of us from the slums. Next up is Jackie's favorite console. Oh, what is this gonna be here? I don't know how I can face him after how we parted ways. Adrian, do you think he could wait and do this separate? Do his separate, I assume separately? Alone! Hey, they can let me. Oh, 'tis been much too long. I must confess, I was not expecting to be summoned here. Hey, nice to see you. Well, why such a guilty look on your face, my boy? Do you do something you would be ashamed to admit to me? Do as what a symbol like. Hold your head high, my lord. I bear much of the blame myself for leaving you behind so early in your growth. No, you're not to blame for any of my mistakes. 'Twas my sworn duty to teach and guide you for the length of your rule. Should have chased that scoundrel out despite your objections, perhaps even poisoned him myself. Whoa, Grandpa, get a little feisty there. Silence, peasant. You're the one who made an attempt on his life. I mean, you got a point, but... Hey, forgetting to whoosh everything under the bridge. That's the time to have fun. You know, Jacopo, strikes me. Yes. You're not a total garbage bag when you got someone to keep you in line. I got that one. I got that one. Like you said, Jackie just needs a friend. Friend would help, sure, but what he really needs is someone to kick him in the butt every time he tries to steer the train off a freaking cliff. That metaphor doesn't even make sense. Don't try to deflect from the point, guy. Sorry, he's in the right place at least. Nevertheless, I only knew him for a short spell. He's a very hard-working man during that time, so my impression of him is mostly positive. We should show this old man what a guy he was during the third door. I don't think I've ever heard Morgana swear before. What did he do in this third door? He constantly insulted and belittled his wife until he broke her. My lord, you must show care and respect for your family. Yeah, you're absolutely 110% correct. I regret everything I did. I spent decades living with that regret. The reason you turned out that way must be because you had no one in this third door to guide you down the correct path. With no one to open up to, you had to wear your mask in perpetuity. All the negativity festering inside you until you're permanently corrupt. I got that one like 90% correct. Odalin. Ergo. I shall reincarnate in this third door to ensure that does not happen. Give me a spin-off when that happens. Yo, what? I'll stand by my lord's side and make certain he does not stray from the path even a single step. Slow down, stop. You're gonna destroy the main game's whole story. And good riddance. Please stay away from it. Sherlock, hurry up and show the old man's spite so we can get rid of him. It's gonna undermine the entire story. I think it'd be fun to see what he does. No, I wouldn't. Not in the slightest. My curse will have been all for nothing. Very well. You may regard my old wearing frame. Odalin x Jacopo is the best pairing. Nice shoes. Well then, I shall take my leave. Are you not going to stay for longer? The console is supposed to operate from behind the scenes. Happy to have been given the opportunity to briefly appear. If you say so. Be well, my lord. May happiness find you in your next life. Thanks. You too. Love you, buddy. Very well. Until we meet again. Alright, that leaves one less character with a full body sprite. The Lord. Let's bring him. Whoa, slow down. I know exactly who you're talking about. You're not bringing that man here, are you? Oh, why wouldn't I? It's supposed to be a fun event with everyone whooshing everything under the bridge. That tyrant has a very different definition of fun than the rest of us. Oh, Francois! I get you actually. You summoned me. Go right back wherever the heck you came from. You appear to have stumbled upon a swarm of filthy maggots. Where's the bug spray, Jeron? I need you to clean up this mess. Francois, bug spray hasn't been invented yet. Oh, how unfortunate. So much wrong with this, I don't even know where to begin. Okie dokie, could you stand right there and give me your best smile, Francois? But of course, how can I not grant the wish of my most prized possession? That's not a smile! Times like 5. I hate that thing in anime where like multiple people say the same line in like perfect sync. Like, it's not only well, it's mostly an anime thing, but it's not like it only happens in anime. But I hate it. Why does it have to be perfectly in sync? Feast your unworthy mortal eyes upon the noble body of the great Jean-Francois Barnier. My blood is genuine, unlike a certain imposter. You're giving me goosebumps. Wonder if the real reason Odalin ran off is because he didn't want to run into Barnier. That has to be it. Can't think of any other reason. Francois was the villain for the first half, but by the end I think he seemed like a pretty decent guy. What's everyone think? I cannot disagree with you more. The mere sight of that man's face makes me want to vomit. Not to mention he was the one I wanted to curse most. Sure, he did a bunch of really bad things, but he did say a couple super good things. Plus he fought all real valiant and brave at the end. He is an inspiration. He stabbed through you. Ha! A lord can hardly carry out his duties if he cowered in fear at the sight of a couple peasants. Just because what he's saying sounds reasonable doesn't mean you can forget he's a crazed mass murderer. You'd call a man entertaining himself with his private property morally objectionable? Understatement of the century. This wasn't a dang extra, I'd lop your head off right here. Oh, he did it. Like so. Ah, he just comes up. He can just... like, put it on and off. Like that one ghost in Harry Potter. Child's play. Don't just pull off the dang graphic without any warning. You're gonna give me a heart attack. My soul left my body for a moment. You can act like you went out in a blaze of glory, but don't forget you're begging for your life at the end. I don't really count as begging. One universe says, "Oh no, please don't kill me." Not count as begging for your life. One must be crying and clawing their attacker, willing for mercy through a fit of pathetic sobs in order to properly count as begging for their life. I did none of that. Yeah, that was precisely the wording used in the main game. I'd like to have a word with the author. The main game was just the short version, so cut him some slack. Their character wasn't fully established at that point. Do not coddle them. In reality, my character is no more than a vague concept when it was written. Guys, he's attacking the author now. You did kind of come off like a third-rate villain in the main game, yeah. Just saying that, I didn't expect it to be developed the way you were in Requiem. Francois needed to have a real firm driving force behind him, even as the big baddie, or to fall flat in his final confrontation against Jackie. Plus, he also had the super important responsibility of getting into Jackie's head after he's dead. So he needed to be big and imposing, or he couldn't do that. Makes sense. A slightly different subject. Just remember the whole deal with you having your eye on someone back in the first fight. Yeah? Well, to start, this is what you said at the Midsummer Festival. He's got trouble expressing his feelings. Kinda looks angry a lot of the time. Be pretty haughty. I think he's a pretty great guy, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, maybe that's me? Tell me, John. In what way does that man have trouble expressing his feelings? You don't think he does? The only reason he had to kill his family is because he couldn't talk to them about what he was feeling. Those are not the same kind of feelings we're talking about. No? Whatever, moving on though. He kinda looks angry a lot of the timeline. Kinda doesn't even begin to describe it. It's the perfect fit in my mind. I refuse to believe that. Moving on, the other two I can sort of buy at least. He can be pretty haughty, and I think he's a pretty great guy. So you two were a thing? You betcha. Most certainly we're not. What? Oh, fair and small, you don't need to be shy just because there are other people I am. You seem to be confused, Jiron. I did say that you're the second most important thing in the world to me after myself, but I never said I meant so romantically. What does that make me then? My pet. Your pet? Surely even you will feel something about that. More than happy to be your pet. I get food, a bed, and lots of attention. It's perfect. You never let me down, Jiron. Very well, then you're in a circle and bark for me. I'm not wolfing. Can't deal with this. Any other backstage event, it would be the embodiment of fragile masculinity over there making all the ruckus. But it would seem the two of them have somehow managed to outclass him. Jiron, this covers all the characters, right? We're all done here now? Because I'd like to be on my way. Do you really not want to spend any more time with little old me, Morgs? There's nothing to do with spending time with you specifically. But there are two men here I'd like to out of my presence as soon as humanly possible. Morgana, please tell me I'm wrong here, but you're not putting me in the same category as him. It generally hurts being lumped in with that monster. I mean, you kind of wore him. I feel like I've been kicked in the gut. So if you don't mind, I'll be taking my leave now. Going where? To see Michelle, obviously. Every single time! Why is it always Michelle with you? Because he's the only one who ultimately led me to salvation. Because he's the one. You know, that doesn't nullify everything we had between us. No, you did a perfectly good job of that all by yourself. Yeah. Now, so long, everyone. Well, wait. Jackie, this is the time for you to go after her. You locked up both Morgs and half her soul. Little Stocking should be a piece of cake for you. It just makes it sound like I'm some sort of deviant. Dang it! I was gonna go after her anyway. I won't just sit here with my thumbs up my butt while she goes to see him. Is that a saying? Break a leg! And not hers. I'm gonna tag along too. This sounds like fun. Oh man, I was hoping for just a fun moment with Michelle and Giselle, but I doubt we'll get that. What? You're leaving me alone with the two of them? Yeah. Best smile, best song. So Michelle, what book should we read together next? The classic we read next time almost put me to sleep. I don't really like Michelle's new outfit. It looks weird. A harsh reminder of how much my mind is acclimated to the times. And how about something lighter and more modern? Say perhaps Harry the Potato, you mean? That's an Weird Echo reference. What in the heaven's name was that? Is someone trying to break in? I'll call the police. You stay there. I'll go look. There's no nicer way to get here. What in father's name are you doing here? Couldn't let you go see him alone. Get your hands off me, you wretch. Wretch! Morgs, you're squishing me. Can you get off? Oh, for heaven's sake. I know that voice. So do I. Oh, what a nightmare. Nice to see you again. What? Why are you staring? It's Fata Morgana. Well, you don't understand how we just popped in out of nowhere? Well, you know, this is another one of those backstage extras, so a little bit of space-time distortion is... Oh my gosh! She's the most adorable thing I've ever seen! What? Look how small she is! I just want to squeeze her to bits! I'd really rather you didn't. You agree with me, don't you, Michelle? Isn't Tiny Morgana the most precious thing in the world? She's the second most precious thing in the world. She's a lovely girl, yes. Oh, is that so? I beg your pardon? Wonderful, the noisy one's here too. The Michelle I know would never say that. You're supposed to be an emotionally and socially stunted shut-in. Well, I could change in a millennium. So do you recall speaking my mind during the final chapter anyway? 1,000 years isn't long enough to dethrone King Neat. Is that a history bubble? I'm currently both employed and in a relationship that lets me go on dates. Outside. I nearly fell asleep just listening to you describe that. Whew. That aside. Looking quite young, Jacopo. Well, it's a long story. Beep beep! And who's this young lady? I'm Gian, the heroine of our Requiem for Innocence. Excuse me, that's my title, thank you very much. Since you've accepted your position as the story's heroine, does that mean you've also accepted that you have a fated connection to me, the hero? Never mind, Gian, you can keep the role. At least consider it. I'll bring everyone something to drink. Well, thank you for catching us up. It's been a while since we've done one of these. How exciting. It's also kind of nice being in a different role this time. Going around and talking to everyone is a lot of work, yeah? But I'd much prefer you to him. What are you doing standing over there? Oh, we're split into the light and dark side groups. The two of us have been through so much already. Like for the rest of our lives to be nice and relaxed. Even outside of canon. My story this time was happy from start to finish. It was a very lovely date, yes. 3 seconds till Jackie's gasket blows. 3, 2, 1... Don't give a countdown, you lout. Lout? Doesn't even make any sense. Can't end the main story like that. Then followed up with a bunch of empty fluff. Who gives a dang about you eating popcorn? Do you prefer yours sweet or salty, Jacopo? Salty. You know what you eat? That joke couldn't have worked in Japanese, right? That said, I do agree with the lighthearted, relaxed story. I doubt salty has the same meaning in Japan as it does in English, but in Japanese than it does in English. Anyway, I do agree that a lighthearted, relaxed story feels out of place in the same package as Requiem. However, what? It's entirely your fault you still had to spend a millennium as the maid. If you're just able to behave like a reasonable dang human being, all this could have been avoided. Everyone gets a chance to lay at the smackdown on Jackie here. But also, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't get this like now. It's a long, long time ago though. Let's put the past behind us and enjoy this special occasion. Besides, that period of my life isn't just a bad memory to me anymore. Sure, it's hard to get through. But I want to be here with Michelle, as happy as I am if it wasn't for that. All's well that ends well. The main game may have had a good ending, but Requiem most certainly did not. Alright, let's talk about something else. I'm gonna die of an ulcer at this rate. Michelle, Jordan was telling me something curious earlier. And what would that be? That, that you're, well, how should I put this? Just spit it out, you're giving me the creeps. That you're physically only partly a man. First of all, where on earth did Jordan hear that? Second, why the heck would he bring that up in a casual conversation topic? Guess it's safe to assume she was telling the truth. Sorry, Snowy. Never meant to hurt anyone. But she frequently does, because her head's as empty as Jacopo's heart. Is Snowy referring to me? Cute nickname, isn't it? Sure, I suppose. I mean, whatever you want, fine. Do you have a nickname for me? Our names both start with J sounds. So that'd get confusing. Let's see here. How about... Don't you dare finish that word! Question mark, question mark, question mark? Okay, Ellie it is. Just L. Okay, I can see that. That means I'm pronouncing it right. I'm a genius. Feels so nice to be called by a nickname. Quite frankly, it's not a detail I wanted to go spreading around, as my body was the source of so much torment in my life. But Cheryl and I traveled down similar paths. I was the same who became a witch. Then he became an angel. He an angel who became a demon. And that's how we were seen by others, at least. The both of us, we were like unto God. And you are as far from God as man can fall. Well, that doesn't change what I think. You're just an ordinary girl. Nothing special, breathing the same air as me. Well, it's the one who helped her turn back from a witch in the main game. You should offer her your hand next time. If there is a next time. And don't let go. Wasn't that what the line said earlier? I feel like... I mean, that's a line you hear a lot in media, but... Oh, yeah, no, that's Michelle. Yeah, don't let go of her hand. I remember, okay. I knew I heard it in Fata Morgana before. Made it perfectly clear I have no intention of our souls crossing paths ever again. No, you said may or if they happen to in the sphere of fate or whatever. He's already said his goodbyes as well. However insignificant the chance may be, it's human nature to want to root for it to happen. One such improbability was the last scene of our story in this game. Made sure you reunite, so I'm sure everyone else will too. If by some cruel twist of fate I am able to cross paths with him again, I'll still never forgive him. I don't expect you to. In any event, didn't the other say somewhere I was supposed to reincarnate into a butterfly or a cat or something similar? Did he say that? I think it's come and go. Consider that yet another of many possibilities. That would have been a much crueler twist of fate than anything. Requiem was already much darker than I anticipated. All I had seen before this was bits and pieces of his past. It's hard not to pity him for the way everything crumbled down around him in his younger days. I don't know how the ending played out either. I always assumed he just kept his feelings to himself and let Morgana die, so surprised when he actually told her at the end. Of course, he waited far too long and none of it got through to her. What's the matter, Snowy? You're staring off into space. It's nothing. In any event, good luck to you. I don't need your dang well wishes. Very well then. It'd be amazing if we could meet up in person day 2, Morgs. I bet we'd be right around the same age, maybe in secondary school together. We could even be in the same class, that'd be great. I'll drop out the first day. Aw, why do you have to be like that, Morgs? You never stop talking. And I'll try to talk less. But I really want to be your friend again, Morgs. There's all that sorts of stuff we can do together, like go shopping for cute clothes. Because I'm such a big doof, my grades would be terrible, and you could help me study for tests and stuff. Give us the spin-off. Oh, then Spirit Swell could be our teacher, and it'd be perfect. A perfect nightmare. Expect that class would show up on the news within the first month. We, seem to have gotten off track. May I ask why you're asking about what's between my legs? I just thought I might have to be more careful with my words if it was true. Are you even capable of choosing your words? For the love of God. Your tongue's gotten much sharper, Michelle. I have had 1,000 years to work on it. While you're in like reincarnation limbo, do you gotta work on your comebacks? Is that allowed? It's kind of like showering, because showering is the best time to think of comebacks. Come on now. You don't need to get weird or walk on eggshells. I'm a man, and that's all there is to it. My being intersex does not change who I know myself to be. This body is no longer a cause of fear or anxiety. I made peace with who I am, and you should too. I assume he is in this timeline, well, in this reincarnation too, then? Because I remember at the end of the backstage, they're like, oh, was he or was he not? And it kind of kept it ambiguous. But here it seems like he is intersex, as they call it. Is that the right? I don't know if that's the right word for it, but you do you. Well, very well. Seems trying was not required. I'll continue to treat you the same as I always have. Please do. You know, well, I'm not all fond of your high and mighty act. That was actually moderately decent of you. Only moderately? You're much more agreeable like this. Far less grating to speak with as well. Lord/businessman Jacobo's a massive riot, though. Never once have I tried to get a laugh out of someone. Oh yeah, Jacopo. In your description on the main game's website, it said you will readily toss aside anything to achieve your goals. It just struck me that you yourself was one of the things you threw out. Dumped his whole life right into the garbage you did. Put a sock in it. Try to be a little more selective about what you get rid of next time. At heart, you're not a completely evil man. Huh. So back to the previous topic, Snowy. You said your body's the same in this life as before? That's correct. Use my wish at the end of the main game to reunite with Giselle. But I have no misgivings about my body anymore. I'm pretty happy with that fact. Like, it's kind of like how them removing Morgana's scars kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little. Just, you know what I mean? I'm embraced who I am and I'm firm in my identity, but the most important thing is me being with her. Together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Indeed. Save it for when you don't have company. Well, I hope you have a fulfilling life. What? 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 Why are you all giving me that look? Can you blame us? No one expected to hear those words coming out of your mouth. This guy's gonna fall to my, did he say something you shouldn't have? Every time I try to say something nice, this always happens. Well then, Morgana, we've now got double blessings. We're unstoppable. We have a long, happy life ahead of us. Well, but it's about time we hop back to our own time period. Yes, you two go on home. I live here now, I'm between the two of them. It's the perfect fit for me in every sense of the word. There's no room for either of you. Yeah, well, Jacopo, you're on. Marisol's never cross paths again in the boundless sphere of fate. Should I drag her back? No. What? Hey, let go! Get your filthy hands off me! Quit whining and move your butt. Do you want me to bite you? Go right ahead. A little bit. She actually did it! Hey, Snowy, my Ellie. Oh, another typo? This is just typo central. It was nice meeting you. And thanks for helping Jackie open up a little. We didn't do anything. I hope we can all meet again someday. I'll miss you, Geron. Me too. Goodbye. Till we meet again. Bye. Vroom! She was quite the lively girl. That she was. But I had fun and there were some nice surprises. Indeed, young Morgana showing up was certainly unexpected. Plus Jacopo being unusually open and Geron being the bright ball of energy were both wonderful. But the best part of all was definitely getting to see you smiling so much with everyone, Michelle. Oh, you don't need to worry so much about me anymore, Giselle. Still going? It is so uncomfortable sitting like this. Like, free me. What song is this? Ba da 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 da. Like, I know this song. I know how it goes. I don't remember the name. It's from the original game. Well, where'd the space-time distortion take us this time? I'll keep going. Get your hands off me already. I'm gonna curse your soul for all eternity. I thought you said you would have nothing to do with me anymore, including no curses. Why are you suddenly back on your high horse? Or like I'm back on my game. This is the Lord's banner, right? I think it is. Just let this be over. Just because you're currently outside of canon doesn't mean I'm gonna ignore everything you did in canon. All the pain and misery you caused me is still real. No amount of joking will ever make it go away. You're an irredeemable monster. I know, so give me a bonus to make it up to you. I just hope that one day I can help make it so the good memories far outnumber the bad. No, you said we won't ever cross paths again, but I still want to atone for what I did to you. To you, and the other half of your soul. That's all I want. Your efforts will all be in vain. Maybe, but I'll deal with that when I come to it. Hey, Mel! I had you out to interrupt this really serious conversation, but how long are we gonna have to wait here off to the side? Hey, look, it's the boy formerly known as Mel. What? Then who am I now? Who the heck are you? Francois's pet. Hey, don't use that name, you buffoon. I don't think you're talking about me. You mean the man standing right there? Jean-Francois Barnier? Well, he's a bit younger than I remember. Knew you were a creep, but now you're making people into pets? You're really rock bottom. You want another taste of my fist, Tom Punk? For the record, I'm not the man she calls Francois. I won't get into the details, but I just had to assume his name. I wonder if we're going to see the white-haired girl at all. Like, or if they're going to mention her brief appearance. Well, her. Sure, whatever you say. Wait, hold on a second. I'm just imagining about you, Bonnie, or whatever your name is. Don't seem like as much of a stuck-up jerk as I remember. The boy formerly known as Mel is starting to freak out. Stop that, I'm not formerly known as anything. Ah, it's the Saintess! Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. She's so tiny, a mini Saintess. She's adorable. Will you please stop shouting in my ear? It'll make me go deaf. Come have your tea over here with me, Saintus. There are rose petals to put in the teacups to make it even yummier. There's also cake loaded with sugar. Oh, that sounds great. I want some cake too. I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're a nice girl. I'll let you have some too. Yahoo! Not gonna have snacks with you. You're sure unusually clean, considering how much you despise the other half of my soul. The first door goes whoosh, right under the bridge. It's spreading. It was Nelly who said that. It's pretty crazy how girls can go from nothing to friends in the blink of an eye, huh? Oh yeah, so who's the dirty hobo? I don't look that bad. Every boy other than my first and second brothers is gross by default, so you'll have to try a lot harder than that. Jackie starts trying to impress people. He gets drunk on money and power, so please don't encourage him. It's getting quite lively in here while we were away. Hey guys, it's been forever. Haven't seen you in... Well, I haven't seen you two before at all. I swear every last one of you has the same reaction. Says he's the Lord, and they do the pot contrivances, right? He's younger than when we knew him. The Lord? Question mark. And this is Cicio, right? Cicio? Like, C-I-C-I-O, I believe? It's not that bad to make the connection, is it? Like the thing you're saying right now. The Lord is more purple, I thought. Don't associate people with their clothes. Use your faces, you brain-dead feral dog. I'm beginning to wonder if Yaki would be able to tell the difference between you and Francois, even if he wasn't nutso. I'll also waste my second brother and the maid. Didn't they come with you? They're busy flirting with each other in the present day. Well, that's no fair. I want to see the present day too. If you wish hard enough, maybe you'll end up there. There's tons of different cakes to choose from. Let's go to the Cheesecake Factory. I want to go too. But I put some weight recently, and I'm trying to shake it off. What? They just dropped a name of a... That's like a restaurant, right? They can do that? That's allowed? That is a... I believe that's a restaurant. I've never been there, but I remember that being a place. I don't want him to abandon me because I'm not to his liking. I love a woman with powerful appetites, Pauline. Then Cheesecake Factory, here I come. Hooray, we can all go together. Can't even bring myself to make a jab about how he always says exactly what he wants to hear. Like, as long as you don't, like... I don't know the specifics, but you can name drop stuff. But still, it's kind of weird whenever they do name drop real things. You'll come with us too, won't you, my dear Smell? What, me? I don't know. I'd feel really awkward being the only guy with a bunch of girls. There's gonna be so many of them there. If you want to fit in better, you can just dress up like a girl. Or is it the first thing that jumps to mind? Think you look dashing as a girl, dear Smell. You two would make a lovely pair of sisters. I don't have to go dress shopping for Mel first. Can you please not? Don't bully the Mel. If you want to come, Jackie, we can dress you up all nice and pretty too. Oh no, it remembers my flower choice. Like heck. Don't try to get a reaction out of me either, because it won't work. I know you're into that, Lord. You seem to really want to relieve my fist obliterating your gut, boy. I would kind of like to see that too, though. Not the Lord, but Yukimasa. Pauline, if that is what you truly desire of me, you're allowed to say no, you realize. We're only here to pap about like fools, so don't be taking my leave. You're just looking for any excuse to bail, aren't you? Huh. You seem really prickly and not in a very good mood, Saintus. More so than usual, I mean. There shouldn't be any surprise when the most upsetting man in the world is still in my line of sight. I don't think there's much more for us to talk about this time, really. Yeah, what the heck? I barely got any screen time in this game. Telling my you got a tail to yourself. Oh, Arthur got it. I look even more pathetic after this. You're only useful if you get snowy to nudge you in the right direction. Boy, 4 million on his mouth. I'm not... Oh, never mind, it's not worth it. They should change his name in, like, right here to Boy 4 million on his mouth. I too lost a few points with this story. Let the angels help, the both of us end up villains. I actually feel like you might have gained some points. You're kind of more controlled here than in the main game. Very true. Hey Yucky, could you do your catchphrase for me? My catchphrase? Pretend a violent goon just came crashing through the window. You do whatever you want to him. Shall I kill him? Yes! I'm not sure I would call that a catchphrase. Yukimasa, remember what we agreed on? No more talking like that. Of course, Pauline. It's merely acting for the girl. Okay, that's a relief. I need to curse the beast again. Anyway, he was a monster from start to finish, and everyone came into knowing that, so I doubt public opinion is any worse than it already was. You even got to see his wicked smile more times than in the main game, if I'm counting right. They went through and counted how many times they showed that sprite. At least I think if he's not consistent. The show may have talked him into helping out, but I never really felt shame or regret about what he'd done. The closest he gets to breaking free from that is in the second door. Maybe what we need to do is knock his memories out of him again. Bring Beastia back? Are you out of your mind? Hey, Beastia wasn't all that bad. Like, before the merchant showed up. That's it, I'm glad I got to see everyone again, even at the cost of my reputation. I hope we can do this again sometime. Explicitly said we wouldn't, as you might recall. I mean, I guess, but... As times change, so does the heart, Saintus. That's right, well said, Nelly. Tee-hee-hee. We're super sad if you ended your Requiem in the same place as the main game. Besides, you need to come to the Cheesecake Factory with us. Never gonna stop talking about this place, are you? You're all free to believe what you want. Nothing is going to change where I stand on this matter. You're a stubborn Saintus. This is the prerequisite to cursing someone for a millennium, yes? Didn't you say that strong wishes come true, though? So I'll wish really hard for us to see each other again. Does your us include my other half? The white-haired girl? What? You can't stand her, can you? I'll play nice with her next time, I promise. Not the girl I used to be, not anymore. I see. Well, if by some impossibly remote chance you do run into her, be sure to apologize. Not she bears any ill will over it, though. That's a promise. I'll tell her I'm sorry and make up for what I did. Ellie's surprisingly well behaved with Morgana around. Well, she's completely destroyed, so no amount of wishing will ever bring her back. But I won't stop you from trying. Alright. Now, I think it's about time we wrap this up. It's dragging on far too long. It's not like we get to do this more than once a game, so I don't see a problem with taking it at a relaxed pace. There's relaxed, and then there's running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. You're firmly in the latter category. Now, farewell, everyone. Till our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sea of fate. Bye-bye, Saintus. See you. Hope we get to meet again eventually. Young Saint, I pray your next life may be a peaceful one. I swear I'll never cause you any more pain. Goodbye. Stop dawdling, you two. We're leaving. Right. Later, guys. It's great meeting you. So long. See you again, perhaps. We're gonna see our... I was gonna say our boy, but our... Oh no, okay, we're just going to the end. Fitting place to end, I suppose. This always was the story of a cursed mansion. Hey now, aren't you forgetting about someone? Yeah! What? Imian? So... Hey, it's Mr. Mask. I mean, her voice was supposed to be like really hoarse, right? But... I mean, look, I have the most hoarse voice. Look at my username on YouTube. It's gonna be either your voice one yet, Sharon. Alright, I forgot your story was included in this too. Come on, how are you gonna forget one of the best stories in the game? Well, no idea what he looks like, but he sounds kinda hot. Imian is a woman. Huh. Hey, both guys and gals can be hot. I put money down on me being a better man than every other dang guy in this game. Can't really argue with that. What? Mel and Michelle are both awesome! Who exactly is this anyway? Right back at you, buddy. Where are you? A hero. With a stranger's urge to kick those smug teeth in right now. Besides, wanting to make more... I mean... I guess Mel isn't the greatest, but I mean... wouldn't it make more sense for Michelle to be here to go over my part? You're 100% correct. Let's leave this worthless man behind and go visit in the present. Again? Stop right there. I'm not letting you go... I need to break. So once they cut to the present, I'm gonna call it, and if it... Like, hold on, I'll talk when they get there. I'm letting you go there again after how hard I had to fight to bring you back. Fine, then I'll summon Michelle here. She's really busy flirting with Giselle right about now. You're terrible interrupting, so just let him be. Then you wanted to see him. I'm not denying that. I'm just hoping our reunion could be under different circumstances. Next time I see him, I want to be such a hottie as eyes jump out of his skull, not the sad imitation of a zombie. Sorry, but Giselle exists. Can you imagine the look on his face when he sees what I look like? It's gonna be great. Michelle's grown enough that I'm sure he'll have no trouble being friends with you even after he learns you're not a man. Think straight, he will. I think I'm better than that. Yeah, he has a job, his friends, a girlfriend. How much more typically good guy can he get? Don't you dare insult Michelle. For God's sake, will everyone stop reading my mind? So, Emmy? The ending of your story was that like you're a boy inside thing? Nah, I'm a woman through and through. Just pretending to be a guy for Michelle. It does swing both ways though. If we ever meet in another life, I'd love to take you out for drinks. Or anywhere else you'd like to go. And Juriana's love triangle. Give us the spin-off. Should have picked someone else she met 5 minutes ago. But my head skipped a beat. I'm getting serious Lady Oscar vibes from you, Emmy. Lady Oscar? I don't get the reference. Well, I suppose we should talk a bit about Ascento Dali while we're here. Okay, I have to call it. If it ends up being like 20 minutes or less, I'll add this to the video. But if not, I need to go just sit next to an air conditioner for a minute. It's so hot in this room. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, guys. I'm going to finish backstage tonight. I don't think I'll be able to finish whatever is coming up though tonight. But I'll see you guys then. Bye. Hey guys, we're here with the House in Fata Morgana or Requiem for Innocence. This might be added to the end of the last episode, but I had to cut it because we went over an hour long and I just had to cool down for a minute. So we're back, we're here in the backstage with Imian. And let's get started. Well, I suppose we should talk about Ascento Dali while we're here. The story was originally included in a preview pamphlet distributed before the main game was released, making it rather old. Really? It was then reimagined into game form for inclusion in Requiem. The general beats of the story are the same in both versions, but there's more meat on this one, plus it makes my motivations a little clearer. Making so you started out getting real closer to Michelle for less than a noble purpose, it slowly warmed up to him, gave the ending a little more weight, I thought. And then as a side note, Imian was also briefly referenced in the main game. During this end of the mansion where Michelle's spirit is breaking down, there's a line that goes, "At one point, a man with an unusual disease stumbled across the mansion while wandering through the forest." There's little more to be said about that. Huh. The man it's talking about there is Imian. Yeah, look at Fata Morgana, can't be subtle. I say that in jest. You see, I'm cool. I'm smart, so I can say in jest. That's not all. In the final chapter, he sings a song to the flaxen-haired little girl, right? He says it's a song of old acquaintance of mine he heard while traveling. That acquaintance is me. Oh yes, I never made that connection. But it makes sense. There's no one else that he could have heard it from. Never said as much if it was from Giselle or his brothers. You ended up having a bigger part in the main game than I realized. I'm glad I was finally able to show up here proper. That reminds me, didn't a rough modern day design for you show up in the short game released after the first popularity contest? It did, but I'm not sure why you're bringing up something your readers would have no way of knowing since it's not available in English. How was I supposed to know that? You're called out for that exact thing just a few scenes ago. I know I started to disappoint anyone reading this who happens to have seen that design, but it's staying in the idea bin for now. I want to see the design! When that game was released, the staff hadn't settled on what your Requiem would end up being. They're exploring a bunch of possibilities, one of them being make the follow-up a light, cheerful game, which is where that came from. Okay, so it wasn't always, like, it wasn't decided to just be, you know, because it wasn't even decided to be Jacopo's and Morgana's flashback from the beginning. It's interesting. But they decided they really want to make something with more substance, that's also capable of standing on its own. So they poured their heart and soul into making the Requiem you have in your hands now. I hope you're satisfied with how it turned out. Yep, that about covers it. You know, ever since that backstage event started, it felt more like you're colluding with the author than the Lord. Nothing too hard about it. But I'll talk about the game you actually got. The main theme of Ascento Dali was friendship. This is a thread common in most of the stories included in the Requiem, in fact. Friendship? How easily those bonds can break. Very sad stuff. My friendship with Michelle is fine and well, thank you. I just kicked the bucket a bit sooner than him. You and Jackie were both real fixated on finding far off utopias, though. Your heart's off in a dreamland, and you're not seeing what you already have within reach. All I have in reach right now is a cursed mansion. Fair. The time period was a big factor in what happened to us, too. My disease is much more manageable in the present day than back then. And Michelle won't get sentenced to death by the church now, either. I think it wasn't so much a physical place we dreamed of, but the far future. Man, my eyes are leaking. I thought you couldn't feel sad. Hush up and read the room! Well, I have my spot in the limelight, so you should all head back. Everyone can see each other again sometime, Emmy. Everyone's going to the Cheesecake Factory. The what? It's a place where you can get all the cake in the world. Me and the other girls all decided we were going. Sounds like fun. I suppose I'll join you and the other girls. Can't wait to meet them. Not that kind of buffet. And now it's forbidden to read someone else's mind. Crude savages, the both of you. Let's be off then. Very well. Is it Noemi? Nomi? Sure. So somehow cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. I'll consider acknowledging your existence. What kind of goodbye is that? My gut tells me that's some kind of ridiculously backhanded compliment, but I ain't gonna push it. Later, gang. Goodbye. Bye. Yippee, we're back. Took you freaking long enough. Only fell asleep a couple times. Anyways, Francois. Put his royal butt back where it came from. Can you imagine how absurd it would look for these three to be chilling down here together waiting for you to come back? Pshaw. Pshaw. You have me scared for a bit there. I was worried I might not make the cut for the final get-together either. Why wouldn't you? You were one of the gang. I just feel really freaking bad about what I did, and I don't deserve to be called that anymore. Oh, I didn't realize you're capable of feeling your regret, Beefcake. You're the last person I want to hear that about anything about feelings from. Come on, Morgana. I'm staying right here. Get your little butt moving. I know you have complicated feelings about all this, and I have absolutely no right to make you do anything, but this is still our story, so we should be there. Fine. The gang's all back together, woo! And with this, our story is officially over. Thank you all very much for sticking around for it. Now some parting words for my heroine, Morgs. What? It'd be weird for me to have the last word in your game. Can't expect me to come up with something on the spot. Okay, Jackie, you can go first. You think about what you're gonna say while he's talking. What? What am I supposed to say? Whatever, just buck up and say something. To all you out there reading this, I obviously have no idea what you think, how you feel about our story, our lives. But I hope at least it was something that left an impression. I'll stick with you. While I ended up screwing things up beyond relief, it was still my life. I fought tooth and nail to make the best of the hand I was dealt. So it'd mean a lot to me if some part of that could find meaning beyond the four edges of the screen. Not sure what else to say. Sincerely appreciate you sticking around this long. Thank you. That's it for me. Nice. Now you're up, Morgs. Very well. Looking back, the series has been active in some form or another for quite a number of years. Whether you've been following along since the beginning or only recently discovered Fata Morgana, I offer unto you my blessings. Farewell. Until we meet again. Okie dokie, everyone. Give me your biggest smile. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for playing our game. As the author, I would not normally make any sort of comment within the game itself. Well, this being a side story, a bonus of sorts, I'd like to bend the rules a bit and extend my gratitude to you directly. I'd also like to offer my sincerest apologies for the delays in a Requiem for Innocence release, and thank you kindly for your patience. Translator's note. The lock team did not consume enough caffeine to keep their deadline. Oh, lock? Localization? And have been locked up to take time to reflect on their mistakes. Requiem is a deeply unpleasant and painful story, but I try to sprinkle little morsels of hope throughout it. So hopefully you aren't coming away with a terrible aftertaste. As was mentioned in the Emian segment, we considered a number of possibilities for a follow-up to the House of Fata Morgana, but ultimately we settled on the story of Jacopo and Morgana's past. I apologize to anyone who was hoping for something lighter, but this was the best way to touch on the themes I wanted to explore. It feels like it fits in better with Fata Morgana this way. Glad I was able to tell this story, and I pray you were able to enjoy it. In writing Requiem, I spent many hours digging through the text of the original game's final chapter to make sure I didn't introduce any inconsistencies. While you only saw small glimpses of what was in their hearts there, you're lucky I was able to flesh that out and give it your life here. Jacopo particularly was shackled by something until the very end. I think I managed to expound? Is that a word? I don't know exactly what that was here. I can't say whether he'll be able to free himself from those shackles anytime soon, but I imagine he'll at least be trying. Let's put that hard-working trait to good use. Moving forward from Requiem's timeline, we know he makes the same mistakes in the main game's third door, but perhaps he too will be able to reclaim himself when he's released from the Witch's Curse. Maybe I should make him do a Reclaim Yourself marathon like Michelle. Now, while I said I was glad I could tell the story, I must confess it was in a way more difficult for me to write than Fata Morgana. Though there were a great deal of pain and suffering in the main game as well, it was not brought on by Michelle's own failures. In the end, his actions were still good. Requiem is very much the opposite though. Writing a character who knows what they're doing is wrong, hates themselves for it, and still barrels down headfirst down the path was something maddening to do. That said, I didn't get to write much of Jacopo not putting on an act in the main game, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing what's beneath the mask. There are a number of characters in Fata Morgana with multiple personas. That's an especially deep-rooted aspect of Jacopo's character. In fact, one of the reasons Shurian was so utterly lacking in pretense is because I felt like that was a big part of too many existing characters. So I made her the exact opposite. Getting inside Morgana's head was also rather difficult. She described her time as the brothel as when she learned to experience joy, so I especially wanted to focus on making her feel more human. While she released herself from the curse at the end of the main game, that only brought her back from the negatives to dead neutral. I hope one day she'll be able to return squarely towards positive. A Requiem for Innocence was not only Jacopo and Morgana's story, but it's the story of friendship, companionship, and growth. The characters in the main game didn't have much in the way of proper interactions there, so I'm glad I was able to use the first half of Requiem to show them having fun and living their lives without sacrificing what makes Fata Morgana what it is. Especially fond of the Midsummer Festival scene, Jacopo carrying Morgana on his back under the sunrise. Yeah, those scenes stand out. Because the Midsummer Festival, just for its, funness. Funness isn't a word, but I'm going to use it. And the Jacopo carrying Morgana scene just for being like a touching moment, I guess. What were your favorite parts? Well, I suppose it's time to draw the curtains for real. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me in the house of Fata Morgana. I hope that one day we may cross paths again. But wait, there's more! Bonus track, Fragment. Okay. Small reward for completing the game. Sure. I'm gonna have to edit this onto the last one, aren't I? Man. Dang it. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Do I have time for this tonight? Like, I have about 40 minutes left to record, probably. I don't want to risk. I'm gonna go for it. So, I'm gonna finish it tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.